everyone to the greatest show where I get to show up the greatest people and have way too much fun doing it. My special guest today who's joining us is Marie-Sandrine I already forgot it.
Salvai.
Salvai.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So if you cannot tell, Marie has a very beautiful accent that we're going to get to enjoy today. and we're going to so one thing I would like to acknowledge about you that I noticed on a Zoom we were doing together, and that kind of inspired this whole conversation, and it has to do with the accent, but it also has nothing to do with the accent, is there's this embodiment of like flirtation and sexualness and play that you just be. And I really wanted to talk about that with you today and kind of explore how that shows up for you and some awarenesses around it and see where we go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yay. So the title is Flirting with Your Body. And the part about that was where so there's the language, right? There's how someone speaks, but there's also how you sit. There's the way you move your mouth, like the eyes, the smile, the play with everything that you be is so flirtatious and kind of inclusive. Is that kind of a natural way that you've always been? Is this something that you kind of are aware of that you do?
Absolutely not. And this is what I surprised about, because we didn't have this conversation. We talk about the topic, but I didn't know I was chosen for this topic because you perceive that in me. And this is so interesting for me, because for me, this kind of flirting things, it's truly an energy. I when you spoke about this topic, I just look at that and I say, what is this flirtation with bodies? And finally, it's truly this interaction you can have first with yourself, and how when you are in this peace with you and you are with no judgment about you, you begin to be in this natural way of being. And this is something people begin to perceive, and there is this kind of interaction with this kindness and this joy. And also what the flirtation is more for me like being alive.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And thank you for pointing out the kindness, because I think some people, instead of being flirtatious, they're doing flirting. And it's not always it's not always that kindness, that inclusiveness. Sometimes it's from judgment or from trying to create a positive judgment or exclude other people. Yeah. So thank you for bringing up the kindness that flirtation can be. And so okay, so we talk about bodies as though, bodies have a consciousness of their own, right? What do you get about what it creates for a body to be in that space of flirtation, that aliveness, that play?
You spoke about judgment, and for me, the first step is truly eliminate judgment of you, judgment of others. And when you have no judgment of you, you can be in this natural way of being. And this is the most attractive and sexy things, to be without judgment about you and about other people. When people look at you without that judgment, it's such something creates so much in your space. Finally, sorry.
Okay.
So when you are in this area where you have no judgment about you and about people, you can, as I said, truly be in receiving of people. You don't have expectation about what they think about you. You don't have point of view about them. So you are just in presence of people, and your body is relaxed, and you have like this energy of fun, of play. Begin like yes, just you are relaxed and just present in the moment without any expectation or right things to do or perfection things, because when we are in perfection, it's a lot of judgments too. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, absolutely. So what do you notice with your body when you're in that playful flirtation?
When I notice that,
Yeah, what do you notice with your body? Like how does your body feel when you
there is,
allow that?
there is this kind of butterfly, you know, there is this kind of energy like wow, and this kind of freezing energy. It's just when you are exciting, just as a child, I would say.
Oh wow, I love that. So, do you have a partner? Like are
Yeah,
you in relationship? So
yeah.
so and that so that's also interesting too because of how many of us think, "Oh, I have a partner, so I can't be this energy with anyone else because it's going to maybe lead down a path." Is this kind of and I'm also wondering like culturally too. Is it culturally is this just kind of an open energy that like for you it's very normal or was this something that you had to work on or look at with your partner?
This is something I work a lot about me, because I had so much point of view about what you have to do, not do as a woman, about expectation of men, about, yes, if you are in a relationship, when you grow up, about education, etc. So for me, I did my work to look at that and see there is nothing wrong about being in this happiness and in this freezing energy, and how that could be a contribution for you. Because when you close the door to have this interaction with people, you truly put this barrier and you are behind this barrier. So this kind of energy begin to lake in your life, and you always look at what you do wrong rather than what could be what could be a contribution with that. And so when you are clear about just it's a play, it's something you don't waiting for anything for people, and you are clear about what you are in relationship, etc. This is just for the fun to play, and this is yes. This is something we have to go beyond our point of view and reference points to begin to have ease with that and truly have this acknowledgement what that creates in your life. And when you perceive it's fun and this is not wrong and you are not a bad person for yourself or your partner, you invite him also to be this energy with women and men and everyone.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. It's funny because I was always kind of one of those natural flirters, but I would flirt with everyone and anything. Like I'd flirt with animals, like I'd flirt with, and it was never a doing of the action of I'm going to do flirting to get a result of this person's going to like me or I'm going to get into the bedroom with this person. Right? So how often do we see others doing flirting and then we try to mimic that to get the result that they got and find that maybe we don't like the result.
Yes. And what is interesting about what you said also, it's sometimes you can perceive what people have in their head. So they have expectation where you have not. And when you are aware about that, you begin to feel wrong, like is you have this point of view, but it's not in your world. So you just have to be clear about what people expectation they have as expectation and how clear you can be. And you don't have to deal with what people think. You just have to be present what's work for you and be clear about that.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. So when you're around someone like that and you start to perceive this expectation that they have of you, do you shut it down? Do you shut it off? Do you create separation? Like, how do you handle it?
In the past, I could put a barrier. I can, how I can say, be in this kind of, I go in my cave, I have to hide me, I make me wrong, etc. And finally I saw that create anything for me. And I prefer now to be present and aware about what's happened in people's world. Just acknowledge that and don't have to deal with that. Is not you don't have to deal with something is not yours. So you just being you, like you've changed nothing. And if you have someone to push too much, you just have to be clear and say thank you. This is the thing I didn't said before. When someone, yes, when someone is interesting about you or push energy or idea about you, I didn't receive. I was in rejection of that. So now it's really thank you, but I'm not interested. So it's also an elegant and kind way to receive projection of people, because it's a compliment. We say that in English.
Yeah.
Yes, a compliment.
Yes.
But and in this way, nothing is wrong about that. But you just have the choice to say thank you, but I'm not interested.
Wow. So you're not making them wrong and you're not making you wrong. You're just going, thank you, like still receiving it, but then being very clear, like, I'm not interested in having, you know, we will not be having sex tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. I've actually, you know, I have some close girlfriends of mine that they've had those encounters, you know, those, and sometimes it can almost be aggressive. And then they kind of take that and then they make everything, like their whole, anytime they go to flirt, they've concluded it's going to go there. This is going to happen again. That was really uncomfortable. Yeah. So what invitation, I guess, can you be to those people that would like to have this joyful playfulness, this flirtiness, but have some fears coming up about what that's going to create?
Yes, we have to make a difference about copulation and an energy of flirtation. We can describe that like a kind energy, a joyful energy, a nourishing energy, like an orgasmic energy. All of that is energy, but you have nothing to do with that. So you have to be clear about when you want copulation, when you want flirting, play, or when you just want to be, how I can say, just be well in your body. You wear a beautiful dress just for you, just for fun, and you have no expectation about what that will create also with people world, but you are aware that can create something. But this is the clarity about I do that for me, and I have no expectation also with copulation. So just be clear about what you want to create finally.
Oh, yes, that's so beautiful. Okay, could you talk a little bit about not necessarily the how, but so just to acknowledge you again, the beingness of flirtation that you are and how your body's so included. Like, have you heard of Marilyn Monroe?
No. Okay.
Marilyn
Monroe, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, famous actress. And there was one thing that they always said about her, like she just always had this flirtation with her body, right? And so I've seen like the whole spectrum of different ways that people do flirting or they be flirtatious. And so where did you, I'm wondering if this was something natural or something that wasn't natural, but where your body's so included in that play, in that flirtation. Is that something that you stepped into being, or is that something that you naturally just be?
Yes, I have no response for that. Yeah, in the way I didn't acknowledge, I have that. So, but if I have to ask the question, I would say what my body talking to people that I not acknowledge.
Yes. Yes. And how much permission? Like, can we give our bodies permission to talk?
Yes.
To flirt, to talk to other bodies, to be that contribution.
Yes.
Gets me excited.
Yes, because in this way we have not to think how And you talk about Marilyn Monroe. That could be in her way, but we have to ask the question: in my way, what will it be, and for my body to be in this flotation, what that will look like or be like, and just yes, let's express in our way what they can be. We can just ask a question and see what's happened, and be curious about what that creates in people's words.
That is so beautiful. And what a great question and a starting point of, and exploring, like actually observing what does that create in someone's world? What does that create with someone else's body? It's really fun. I find it, I'm like a people watcher. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, and I like to watch like what it creates for someone and explore that. Thank you for all of that. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the question that we wrote down. Is it easier for you to flirt in English or in French?
Sorry?
Well, I was wondering about how much so language plays in. So like there's the cliche, right? You're a French woman, right? You have the sexy accent. So do you find like when you're in France, you're with French speaking people, you're just using the language that's normal to everyone, or you're around people and they're like, oh, an accent, and they don't speak French, and it's kind of like that. Do you play with that? Do you use that to your advantage?
Now I begin to, because I acknowledge that when I spoke with other languages, because in France, I didn't get this awareness that this accent is sexy. So when we speak in French, we don't have that. But I acknowledge that when I travel. And so now, yes, when you are aware there is something create more, you can begin to use that at your advantage, always in the fun of it. And when you know, now I know when I say merci beaucoup, this is something I don't really say in French. In French, I will say just merci, but I know merci beaucoup. It's a sentence people like, so I play with that. I say merci beaucoup.
Oh, that's so good. So can you talk a little bit about that, kind of using flirtation to your advantage, but also with this fun and play?
This is when you perceive there is something can create more. So it's like a manipulation. The manipulation, when you do that in a benevolent way, is to always create more, is not to be bad with people. So when you see something could create more, you can take this information and begin to play with that, and you can include your body. And if it's your accent or your way to move or anything you can add to finally have fun and see, as I said, the curiosity, what that will create more than you can get without that.
Yeah. I remember going into a restaurant, or I think we're just picking up food, and the person that was going to prepare food was like super grumpy. And I was like, I got to change this or we're going to have some terrible food. So I started to engage and to flirt and to play. And then he lit up, and then he went into the back and prepared our meal, and it came out, and he was so excited to give it to us. And it was so delicious. And that's that kind of that benevolent, like, way of creating something greater with that flirtation, with that play. Do you have any fun stories where you've done that, where you use flirtation to create something greater?
Yes, I can say not one example, but in many way. When you go in this kind of trouble, yeah, oh, really? Like, you begin to play like you don't have point of view of being stupid or being not strong woman. You just have to be in circumstance what will create the most, or you can have this kind of way of being. Yeah, you are in trouble, and you ask people help you. Oh my gosh, I didn't know this plate was that. Is it what is possible? Or you like that. And yes, you can have a result you don't have if you are in anger or in reaction. So yeah, this flirtation, it's if you have no point of view about that, and if you don't judge that, and if you are willing to be that, you can create so much fun and so much more result.
Yes. And what I love is you create so much result, but not always from looking to create a result.
Yes, totally.
Yes. Because like you said before, not having a point of view, or you having your own projection or rejection of what you're going to create, but like flirting into the possibilities.
Yes, I have an example now. When I travel, I always have big luggage and very heavy. And so when I have to up stairs, for example, I am in this I am in this energy of a gentleman help me, and he always show up. I'm like, oh, it's too heavy. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. and it's not using these people. It's just you create something, and every time you see this man take this luggage, and how I can say, they are in this gentleman way of being, and they are so grateful to give you this service finally. And when I say merci beaucoup, it's truly it's not a lie. I'm really grateful. And this interaction, this is a flirtation, it's a benefit for me, and also for this man. It's so happy to help a lady, and yes, it's very fun.
Oh my goodness. And there's so much receiving in that, like just that interaction, because, well, how often and it's men, but it's also men and women, like how often are we just hoping that someone's going to receive us, whether it's to receive our kindness, receive our ability to carry luggage, or receive anything from us. So we're all walking around like, will someone receive me? And then, and will someone be grateful for me? And then being willing to explore that, and then truly receive and truly have that gratitude. I can really notice that contribution that goes from each side. Oh, good. You're back.
Yes.
Yes. So, talk a little bit more about what are you aware of with receiving and flirtation?
About this topic, about women and men, we have this way as women in this new generation to not receive from men. We have to do everything by ourselves. We need anyone in our life, and this is something we stop to be in this flirtation, in this elegance, in this way of being. In receiving men and women. We make a lot of separation with men and women to be in like competition, or like I have to prove I am more than a man, etc. So when you are in this kind of lady way, this elegance and this beauty, this kindness, this power, this joyful energy, etc. This is a way also to invite for women this flirtation, just as a way of being and not a doing.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. So as you step into this playful flirtation, you're also stepping into receiving in a different way.
Yes.
Yes,
receiving, and also like a communion rather than a separation. You include everyone. You have no point of view, and you are also know the effect about what you perceive, but you are just aware, and you let the flow. You keep what it's a contribution for you, and you let it go, and don't make importance about what it's not.
Yeah. And include your body, right?
Yes, totally.
Yes.
Yes.
Your body gets to receive. Okay, wow. This has been a really dynamic and beautiful conversation. And for those of you that listening, if you would like more with Marie, if you'd like to, engage with her, we have all her links in the description. She is an Access Consciousness certified facilitator. She does a lot of magical things around the world. So please connect with her if you're drawn to it and you want more. I know I do, so I'm sure I'll be stalking her on Facebook. Is there anything else before? So we're going to end this on a game, as we do on the show. But is there anything else? Is there anything that you'd want to say on this topic before we jump in?
I'm so grateful, Cassy. You invite me and I have this conversation. What I would say, if you ask me for this conversation, there is 1 or 2 years ago, I can't speak about that because it was totally out of my world to include my body, to be this energy, to receive, to include people, etc. So this is such a gift to share this possibility for people, and all this choice creates so much in my life. So truly begin to lower your barriers, receive more, and also offer more for people.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And that's really inspiring because I can perceive some people being like, well, she was just born this way. And for you to even bring that up and be like, 2 years ago, this would be a conversation you couldn't have. That's really inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being here. Okay, we're going to play our game. And okay, this is the game called Anything is Flirtable. Okay, so we are going to have 4 very non-flirtatious, non-sexy topics to choose from. Marie's going to get to choose it. Then we're going to take turns and we're going to each read a line from these non-sexy things, and we're going to flirt with it, and we're going to include our body, and we're going to just play with it and see what shows up with no expectation. And bonus points to either of us that don't laugh, which is hard for me because I get really giggly especially when I'm flirting. So this is great. I think that's all my notes. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have to choose a topic?
Yes.
So best chocolate cake.
Oh, that's so good.
By coincidence.
Okay, so we need to get the instructions. They're going to be posted for us. Okay, great. So if you look in the thread that we're in, yeah.
Okay.
So these are so this is actually a recipe. So my producer pulled a recipe for the best chocolate cake. And so we're going to read lines from the recipe, and we're going to be as flirtatious and ridiculous as we want to be. Okay. So it goes, so if you could see, I have a line and then you have a line.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and prepare 2 9-inch cake pans by spraying baking spray and buttering and lightly flouring.
And flour, sugar, cacao, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and espresso powder to a large bowl or a bowl of a sand mixer. Whisk through to combine, or using your paddle attachment, tricks through flour mixture until combined well.
And then you're going to add milk, vegetable oil, eggs, and vanilla to the flour mixture and mix it together on medium speed until well combined. Reduce the speed and carefully add boiling water to the cake batter until well combined.
Distribute cake batter evenly between the two prepared cake pans. Bake for 30-35 minutes until a toothpick or cake tester inserted in the center of the chocolate cake comes out clean.
And then remove from the oven and allow to cool for 10 minutes. Remove from the pan and cool completely.
Frost cake with chocolate buttercream frosting. Oh my gosh! I just want to eat this cake.
I'm like, this sounds like a really good cake. If you guys want the recipe, we'll send it, and we can all make cake and eat it.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun. Well, thank you so much. This is really joyful, playful, and flirtatious. So I'm grateful for you being here. And what else is possible with including your body and in this kind of play and this kind of joy, and including everyone around you.
Totally. Thank you so much, Cassy, for this conversation. It was such a gift. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, bye everyone. We will see you next week on The Greatest Show.